Good evening to all of our regional leadership from Region 1 to Region 7. I am pleased to welcome you to the 112th Annual NAACP Convention. Your work in your regions this evening is to coordinate the work of civil rights and social justice among the states in each of your regions. I look forward to your leadership leading this association at the local level, ensuring that education, ensuring that criminal justice, ensuring that environmental justice are at the top of our priority list. I want to understand that you indeed are fighting forward on behalf of your communities, no matter where you are, whether you are in Honolulu, Hawaii, or whether you are in Salt Lake City, whether you are in Wiscasset, Maine, or whether you are in South Dade in Florida. It is your responsibility as leaders in your specific regions to be on the job, monitoring to ensure that social justice, that civil rights, that voting rights are on the top burner at every level of government. I am pleased to be with you this evening. I look forward to the work that you will do in your regional meetings, and I ask you always to fight forward with the NAACP for your communities.
Hello and welcome NAACP family. I'm Karen Boykin-Towns, and it is my honor to serve as the Vice Chair of the NAACP National Board of Directors. As we begin our regional meetings for our beloved organization, I'd like to take this moment to thank you for your willingness to play a significant role in what remains the foundation of the NAACP, leading our fight forward for equality, equity, and justice for Black lives. Our mission remains to take actions and create solutions that bring about sustainable change for the Black community. The decisions that you will help to make over the next few days will play a pivotal role in establishing our NAACP positions on issues that impact our communities today, tomorrow, and for years to come. I'm honored and proud to serve alongside you as we continue fighting forward. Again, thank you for your commitment and enjoy your regional meeting.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. It is my honor to serve you during this historic moment. I'd like to welcome you to the 112th NAACP National Convention and to these very important regional meetings. Serving alongside you in this premier civil rights organization remains a tremendous opportunity that I am forever grateful. I can't begin to express how proud I have been of the efforts of all of us working through the association. You have done incredible work to push our communities forward. 2021 has afforded us this moment to push for the change our communities so desperately need. From the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 pandemic on us, to the systemic racism that has existed in this country for centuries, or our efforts to protect democracy. Our plight has been challenged at every turn, yet with a determination, zeal, and fortitude that can only be found in our communities, we forge ahead, we fight forward. These convenings provide us with the collaboration and roadmap necessary to continue to push our organization forward in our effort to improve, protect, and change the future of this nation. Thank you for this opportunity to serve you, but even more, thank you for what is possible for the future of our organization and this nation. It is our job to make possible what others believe is impossible. So again, welcome, and as always, let's get to work.
Hello, I'm Michael Turner, Chair of the Convention Planning Committee and member of the National Board of Directors. Thank you for participating in your regional meeting. Your role in our organization is extremely vital. Today, you will discuss and vote on important positions for your region. Thank you for doing your duty as a proud member of the NAACP. I'm honored to serve with you as we continue fighting forward to move, protect, and change our communities. Let's get to work.
Hi, I'm Hazel Dukes, a member of the National Board of Directors and Chair of the Election Supervisory Committee. Here are the rules for electing board members at the 2021 Annual Convention. Nominations must be received on Saturday, July the 10th, via email at ballot@naacpnet.org, no later than 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Rule number 1, the deadline to receive consent forms for a candidate to the National Board of Directors at the annual convention will be July 10th via email at ballot@naacpnet.org, no later than 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Rule number 2, for candidates wishing to make speeches, the official nominating speech reservation form must be submitted to the chairman of the election supervisory via email at ballot@naacpnet.org, no later than 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, July the 12th, 2021. Rule number 3, nomination speeches will be no more than 3 minutes each and no more than 1 seconding speech of 1 minute. These videos should be sent with the completed nominating speech reservation form and submitted by email at ballot@naacpnet.org no later than 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, July 12, 2021. Rule number 4, only a certified voting delegate to the annual National Convention may place an individual's name in nomination or second a nomination. Rule number 5, the qualifications per NAACP Constitution, Article 4, Section 3 states, any member in good standing of the association who's been a bona fide member for at least 180 calendar days prior to the date nominations are made and who has not been an employee of the association or any of the units during a 2-year period prior to the date nominations are made and is affiliated with a local unit shall be eligible to be nominated, elected, and serve on the board of directors. Rule number 6, consent forms can be requested by email at ballot@naacpnet.org by submitting a request for consent to the Election Supervisory Committee. Rule number 7, consent forms may be requested from the Election Supervisory Committee via email at ballot@naacpnet.org, following the chairman's address at the opening session of the convention on Sunday, July 11th, 2021. To be considered by the committee, all consent forms must be submitted no later than 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the Monday, July 12th, 2021 deadline. Email consent forms and petitions to the Election Supervisory Committee at ballot@naacpnet.org. Rule number 8, voting shall be conducted by using an electronic ballot. Voting will commence for registered delegates Tuesday, July 13th at noon Eastern Time and conclude on Wednesday, July 14th at noon Eastern Time. Results will be announced during the closing session. Rule number 9, all voting delegates to the convention are eligible to vote and will be authenticated through the process assigned for registered delegates. Rule number 10, The nominee who wins 50% plus one of the ballots cast will be declared the winner. Thank you. Good afternoon, delegates, alternates, observers, friends, national staff, Chairman Russell, President Johnson. It is our great honor, Region 2, to come into 112th National Convention under the banner of Fighting Forward. That's what we do in Region 2. We will now ask Reverend Agnes Blackman to give us the invocation.
Let us pray. God, you have been our guide through an epidemic. You have protected us. You have looked over us. You have cautioned us. And for this, we give you thanks. We thank you, God, that in the midst of the epidemic, you put new energy into our lives. We who are the soldiers in this war, fighting for equality and justice. And you allowed us to know that your light is always with us, and we appreciate that because we had some dark times during this past year. So God, continue to protect our leaders, but continue to give us ideas, continue to allow all ages to come together so that we can get again the way we were. We still the biggest and the baddest and the most honorable association for civil rights in this world, not just the country. And we thank you. For those that are here tonight that are participating in the program and are in leadership positions, I just bless you. For those that are mourning, I give you my sympathy. For those who were sick during the epidemic, God, thank you for healing. For those that felt lonely, God, thank you, for they know that in you they have a friendship. For those, God, that are trying to figure out from day to day how they're going to make it, they need to understand that you have everything and everything belongs to you, and all they have to do is ask you for whatever it is they need. Now, God, as always, tonight as we go through this, we come cohesively, we come to do the work of our organization. And God, we come to get peace. And so that peace that passes all understanding, I give to each and every one of you. I wish you shalom in the name of the Father, shalom in the name of his Son, Jesus the Christ, and shalom in the name of the Holy Spirit. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you so much, Reverend Blackman, for that wonderful prayer, and to remember those names we might not know from our various state conference. It is my great pleasure to introduce my colleagues to you. Many of you, we haven't been together in 2 years. Many of you don't know us. Those in our respective state conference know us, but I want you to see the men. I am the only woman. I want you to see my brothers who I work with and love very much. I love them so much, and guess what? They always love me back. I would like to introduce to you Mr. Kenneth Houston, President of the Pennsylvania State Conference. My brother, Richard Smith, President of New Jersey State Conference. Scott Xdale, he should be on now. We sent him the link.
I'm on now. I'm on
Okay,
now. I'm on now.
that's him. You better be there. That's the real henchman of Brother Law. Juan Cofield, NEAC State Conference, and Richard Smith, President of the Delaware State Conference. These are our leaders of our respective state conference. We work together to bring about the mighty, mighty Region 2. I'm pleased tonight that we have with us a person that I've known and respect from the national staff, Kevin Miles. We will go through the process of asking that you confirm the election of our officers, and then Mr. Miles will give us our credentials report. Am I in order, Mr. Miles?
Yes, you are, Dr. Dukes. If you'd like, I'll go ahead and share the agenda for everybody.
Okay. I've given you the names of our state conference presidents, and now I would like for the confirmation for the record of our officers for this 112th National Convention. Our chair is Kenneth Houston. As I said, he's the president of the Pennsylvania State Conference. Our co-chair is Richard Smith, president of the Delaware State Conference. Our secretary is Claire Theobald. Those are the officers that has been elected for this 112th National Convention.
I would ask if production, can we put the poll up to take the vote?
This is for the slate, correct?
This is for the slate.
Okay. Launching poll. Poll is launched. Okay, we have about 127 of 153 votes and counting. So far, 121 yays, 3 nays, and 6 abstains. Would you like me to end the poll and share the results?
Yes, please.
Okay, ending poll.
Mr. Miles,
Yes, Madam.
Maybe we should have said to them, I hope that our presidents of our units shared with people how we are doing for our new persons and our who has delegates who are here. Everything has been done by poll.
Yes.
And so that's okay. People have a right to abstain, but I want people to make sure that they understand how the vote is being done.
That is correct. All voting will be done by polls. So each time a motion hits the floor, a poll will come up on the screen. Everyone will have an opportunity to vote on it, and then the poll will be closed and the results will be shared.
Now we need the credentials report.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will now read the credentials report for Region 2. Region 2 has 627 members who are registered. Of that number, 540 are adults, 87 are youth. Of the 540 adults, there are 382 delegates, 120 alternates, and 38 observers. Of the youth, there are 46 delegates, 31 alternates, and 10 observers, again for a total of 627 registered from Region 2.
Let's give Region 2 a big shout out here. 627 persons. Let's applaud ourselves. Thank you so much. And now, Mr. Houston, our chair, will now proceed.
Thank you, Dr. Dukes, and thank all of you who are attending our Region 2
112th meeting. It is indeed my pleasure and privilege to be here with you all this evening. And to all my esteemed colleagues, it is an honor and a privilege to serve with you. And Mr. Miles, thank you so much for your patience and your expertise in guiding us through this process. Moving forward with our agenda at this time, we will prepare for the elections to our resolutions committee. For our resolutions committee.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I nominated Joan Gibson from the great state of Connecticut.
Is there a second for Miss Joan Gibson?
There's a second from Scott Exesdale, the state president of the Connecticut NAACP.
Excellent. All in favor?
We have to nominate a second one, Mr.
Our second
Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Is for our second nomination, do we have a second nomination for our resolutions committee?
Brother Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Richard Smith from New Jersey. I would like to nominate Bruce Morgan from the New Brunswick area branch, first vice president, New Jersey State Conference.
This is Juan Cofield from the New England Area Conference. I second the motion.
Excellent.
Can I third it? No, I'm just joking.
Excellent. So for the resolutions committee, we have Miss Joan Gibson of the great state of Connecticut and Mr. Bruce Morgan of the great state of New Jersey. Can we now take the vote for these these nominations?
Okay, production, I would ask if we can put the poll up.
Poll has been launched. Okay, we are currently at 140 votes out of 157, 129 for yays, 2 nays, and 10 abstains. Shall I close the poll and share the results?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sharing results.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Moving along in our agenda. Thank you very much, delegates, for your votes. And once again, Region 2 is stepping up and handling their business. At this time, we are moving forward to our Election Supervisory Committee. We are taking nomination for Election Supervisory Committee. That will be one person.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Madam Dukes.
I nominated Karen Blanding, second vice president of New York State Conference.
Karen Blanding was nominated by Ms. Dukes.
This is what.
Okay, go ahead, Juan.
This is Juan. Oh, this is Juan Cofield from the New England Area Conference. I second the motion.
Excellent. Any other nominations? Being none, should we take the vote?
Production, can we share the poll for Election Supervisory Committee?
Sorry, can you repeat that, please? Are we just doing Karen Blanding?
Yes.
Okay, one moment. Okay, I am launching the poll now. Poll is live. All right, we have 143 votes out of 161, 127 yeas, 4 nays, and 12 abstains. May I close the poll and share the
Yes, you may.
results?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Judy Kaufman. I'm a delegate from the North Shore branch, and I move on the next position that we nominate and send one name forward to be placed on the ballot as the Region 2 representative on the Board of Directors.
Okay. There is a motion that we move for one name representative of Region 2.
Mr. Chair, this is Jim Vincent, President of the Providence, Rhode Island branch. I make the second.
Okay, Mr. Vincent, there's the second. Can we take the vote on the motion?
Production, can we launch a poll?
Launching poll. All right, we have 130 out of 160 votes accounted for, 110 yays, 11 nays, and 11 abstains. May I end the poll?
Yes, you may. Okay, being that we voted in the affirmative for one representative from Region 2 for the National Board of Directors, we are now opening up for the one nomination to represent Region 2 in the National Board.
Brother Chairman.
Sir.
Richard Smith from New Jersey. It's my honor and my privilege to nominate Juan Cofield from NAACP for another term on the National Board of Directors.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Chairman? Mr.
Yes,
Chairman?
Yes, sir.
This is Scott X. Esdale, the state president of the Connecticut NAACP, and I would like to second that nomination for my dear friend, Mr. Juan Cofield from the great NAACP area conference.
Yes, sir, Mr. Esdale from the great state of Connecticut. Can we now take the vote for Mr. Juan Cofield.
Launching poll. Poll is launched. Okay, we have 143 out of 164 have voted. 123 yeas, 14 nays, and 8 abstains. I will go ahead and end the poll now.
Yes.
Sharing results.
Okay. Moving right along, that we have voted in the affirmative of Mr. Juan Cofield of NAACP as the one representative for Region 2 to the National Board. We are now moving to reports, and we will go to Youth and College.
Destiny, you are still muted if you are trying to speak.
Hello, my name is Destiny Rubens. I am the president of University of New Haven's chapter. I guess good evening. Thank you for nominating me for your chair. I'm glad to be here and I'm excited for this convention. So the report is as followed. So we were able to nominate the following people for the certain roles. For regional officer elections, I was nominated chair. For co-chair, Jaden Buckingham was nominated. For secretary, Russell Johnson. Oh, sorry, Gia Greenridge was nominated. And then sorry, I'm just having trouble accessing the document. It's saying I don't have access anymore, so I was just, hold on.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, madam.
the youth was to give us the name of their person for the resolution committee. They were
Yes.
to elect a person for the resolutions committee.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Dukes. Did the youth elect a individual for their resolutions committee?
Yes, we did. I had it all in my notes online, but for some reason it's not letting me access any of my documents. So I'm just having trouble trying to that.
That's okay, sweetheart.
It's all right.
But we need to have it, if Mrs. Gilbo can put her information in the chat, you can send it to her so there will be a record. Is that okay, Mr. Miles?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I see the Connecticut State Conference Youth and College Division President is trying to speak. She's raising her hand in the chat. I'm wondering if she could help out and assist to help the young sister with her report.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Wonderful. Let's allow her the opportunity to assist in getting the information to the delegates in the body.
And President Esdale, what was her name once again?
Her name is Akia Cullum, C-A-L-L-U-M. Akia.
Akia, I've allowed you to talk. Oh, she just dropped.
No, I'm here.
I promoted her to a panel.
I'm here. Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know what you're able to see in the chat, but as Destiny stated, we definitely had our elections yesterday during our youth regional meeting. However, we thought that we would still have access to document prepared by a national staff, and we no longer have access to it. So I wanted to raise a motion for us to move that we submit the report via email, as Madam Dukes has stated.
Wonderful. Mr. Chairman, Mr.
Yes, Madam
Miles.
Dukes.
Mr. Chair, I think we should accept that from our youth and college members. It is a different process. As long as they can get it to Mrs. Theobald, if she put her information in the chat, that would be fine, I believe, if it's okay with the rest of my colleagues.
I would like to second the motion.
Okay, all
So
in
we
favor?
can move. Aye.
Aye.
Do we have to poll it?
I was about to say, technically, we need to do this by poll.
Okay, can you poll it, Mr. Miles, for us?
Yeah, but I would ask production if we could put up a poll, and the poll question would be motion to allow the report to be submitted electronically. Again.
Okay, editing. Sorry, you said motion.
To allow the youth report to be received electronically.
Youth in college.
Youth in college report.
Youth in college report.
Okay. I'm launching poll now.
Thank you.
All right, we have 132 out of 167 have voted, 120, oh, sorry, just jumped up, 135 yays, 1 nay, and 2 abstains. I will go ahead and share the poll results.
Please, thank you.
Okay, stopping share.
Thank you. At this time, moving right along in our agenda, we are now going to announcements. Is this the opportunity that we are allowing according to our agenda, Mr. Miles, where the state conference presidents that have any announcements that they would like to make at this time?
Absolutely, and we would only ask that each state conference president keep that to 2 minutes so that we are able to finish up on time.
Absolutely, thank you. And with that being said, we're going to start off with the great state of Connecticut, the one and only extremely talented Mr. T. Scott Excel.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much. I just want to give greetings to the whole entire Region 2 on behalf of the mighty Connecticut State Conference and all of our units, our Youth and College Division, and all of our adult units. I just would like to say that we lost a lot of individuals during this COVID-19 pandemic. I actually lost my mother and my brother. And I'd like to thank all of the individuals for sending greetings to me and my family. And we lost a lot of individuals throughout the unit also. So we thank you for all the prayers. We thank you for all the love. And I really wanted to thank President Hazel Dukes for all that she has done in calling and reaching out to all of us to make sure that we're okay. And I pray for each and every one of all the other individuals throughout the region. God bless each and every one of you. And I love you all. I'd like to say real quickly that we're glad to be back out. We'd like to invite you all to September 18th, that we're having the NAACP Harmony Football Classic, where we will have Bowie State University play against the University of New Haven. We have a big health fair organized. We have concerts and rallies and seminars and workshops dealing with racial diversity and inclusion. We're dealing with police accountability. We're dealing with laws that are dealing with law enforcement and striving to get them in a better situation where they're not hurting and harming our people and walking away with no consequences. Also, I'd like to invite you guys to our state convention, which will be October 22nd through the 24th at Foxwoods Resort and Casino up here in Connecticut. It will be a state-of-the-art state convention, and we'd like for all of you to come out. New York, I'd like to let you know that one of your greatest rappers of all times, Nas, will be performing that weekend. So if you guys want to come on up and buy some tickets and enjoy our state convention, it's going to be rocking and rolling. So we want you to come on up and have a good time. Also, I'd like to say that we have passed laws on prison gerrymandering, police accountability. We have our Million Jobs campaign for the formerly incarcerated that's doing a wonderful job in reference to us signing an agreement with 27 hospitals across the state of Connecticut, and they have agreed to hire 10% of all their employees for formerly incarcerated individuals. We are following, hopefully everyone is following the fight that we are having with Amazon and the 8 nooses that they found on the construction site. The CT NAACP and the Hartford NAACP are holding them accountable and making sure they're doing right and keeping our people safe on this construction site. And we want to make sure that we have an agreement to make sure that as they could proceed in this particular area, that they're doing right by our people. And also, we'd like to invite you guys to, when we bring the great debate back next year, where we're going to be having Yale debate against Howard University in front of 10,000 people, where there'll be a huge youth membership drive here in the great state of Connecticut. So we're doing some great work, and we're representing the NAACP to the full extent, and we're striving to make each and every one of y'all proud. God bless, and that's our greeting.
Thank you, President Excel. Thank you very much for that spirited announcements. At this time, I'm going to ask none other than the extremely talented and the rock of our region, none other than Dr. Hazel N. Dukes, State President of New York and National Board Member, as she would do her announcements.
I'm going to refer first to our the person who's going to host us next year in New Jersey.
Oh, there
Brother
you go.
Smith. As Brother Exdale gave us some dates about coming out, I know that you'll hear from a person who will come on in a few minutes, but I want Brother Smith to invite Region 2 to, we've worked so hard before we got into shut down with Brother Smith, and his people in New Jersey and Region 2, I know that we're going to show up and show out in next year with our sisters and brothers in New Jersey. Brother Smith, take it away.
There you go.
Thank you, Mom Dukes. Love you to life, and greetings to everyone. I bring you greetings from great state of New Jersey, our officers, our executive committee, and our members of all the branches throughout the Garden State. So Region 2, haven't seen you in a long time. We are virtual again, but Lord willing, next year we will be meeting one another in person. And I'm proud to say that we will be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, which they like to call it America's Playground. And we are working very, very hard to ensure that you leave there, that you leave that convention educated, energized, and yes, entertained. It will be the first time in over 55 years that the NAACP National Convention will be held in New Jersey. So we invite you to come in early or stay a few days later. Discounted room rates will be available on the front end and on the back end. And I just want to say a special thank you to Mike Turner for his leadership. I want to thank Kaleem Shabazz, who is our great president down there in the Atlantic City branch. Ron Glover, Yolanda Melville, who's been holding it down, State Secretary Vivian Darks, our friends at Meet AC, and every single individual who are on that welcome committee for all of their hard work. We love you, Region 2. We are looking forward to seeing you in New Jersey in July of 2022. And listen, Region 2 is so strong that after we leave Atlantic City, then in 23, we're going back to Boston.
There you go.
So good seeing you all, even though it's on Zoom. But again, love y'all to life, and looking forward to seeing you in New Jersey. Jersey strong, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, President Smith. Dr. Dukes, do you want to?
Yes, I wanted him so everyone will feel energized that if the Lord say so, this will be the last Zoom that we'll be able.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes.
I have zoomed myself out of Zoom.
Zoomed out.
Just let me say to the New York delegation, I've been seeing the chats. I know you're here strong. I can't thank you guys enough for what you've done in these 2 years, really. White Plain is on here. I just saw her comment in the chat. I see Reverend Blue from Buffalo. You know, I have 54 branches. We go from from Niagara Falls way down to Eastern Long Island. They have been raising holy hell in New York State. Holy hell. From one end of this state to the other. And they picked up on Reverend Blue, our Vice Chair, Karen Blandy, Rome branch, Syracuse branch, Ellenville branch. We all served on the task force to get vaccine into our community. We made sure, Syracuse, we made sure that it got into our Black community. We flipped our governor until we got what we needed. And that's why New York is almost 100%. We're still working now to make vaccine. We got it in our churches. We got it on street corners. We have vans in our community up on in Harlem, Scott, on 125th Street. We got it there for our people. I was on ads, Karen, so was our president, Jackie Nelson up in Rome, New York, Jackie, Linda Robinson, Elmira Corning. And so we've been doing the work to get us safe, because health is wealth. If you're not healthy, you can't do this job. It will kill you, this volunteer NAACP. Scott and I were waiting for our check. We said today we were waiting for our check. We don't have it yet for all this hard work. I know you all have read
We still
I know
waiting.
you
They
just
said it's gonna
read,
be in the mail, but we still waiting.
I know that you read that we just in New York City just completed a election, ranked choice voting. It's voter suppression. I want to thank Mr. Calvin Miles, the national staff who helped us with our van. It might be a squeaker, but for the second time in history in my life, we're going to have a black mayor, the city of New York. And I know that he's there because of the work of the NAACP branches under the leadership of Kenneth Cohen, my regional director for my 15 branches in New York City. We started off with caravans in every borough of the city of every borough in the city of New York. We went out, we had our young people, our young adults, Yolanda Martin from Mid-Manhattan branch. We have a young man at the Mid-Manhattan branch who did all of our flyers. It was superb. We have worked hard in education. We just received our second $1 million grant from our Black and Hispanic elected officials of New York City for our membership. We was just awarded by a corporation $5,000 scholarships. My education chair, Christine Waters, and her committee is doing a fantastic job. We are here doing the work, fighting forward. We can't stop. On yesterday, we were 112 years old. We got to reimagine how we do this work. So I invite you to learn all you can this weekend from the experts that we are bringing in. And for the women who don't get really recognized by it, we will have a town hall meeting on Black Women Lead. So for those of you who think that you are not recognized, you are. NAACP hold you up, as do our religious institution, because if we was not there, it would not be an NAACP. God bless. Hope to see you soon. Love all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Dukes, for that spirited announcement. And it is my pleasure now to introduce the State Conference President of NAACP, Mr. Juan Cofield. Brother Cofield.
Thank you. I think, am I on?
You are, sir.
Okay, thank you. First, let me make sure that everybody knows what the acronym NAACP is. It stands for the New England Area Conference. I want to say that I think that we who have survived the pandemic are very great, should be very grateful. And I think we owe something more and extra to our Maker for bringing us here. And I hope that that will manifest in the way that we work in the NAACP in the service of our brothers and sisters. I'm pleased to inform you that the significant advocacy of NAACP undertook in the 2020 advancement towards police reform legislation in Massachusetts. NAACP spent more time and effort advocating for police reform legislation than it probably has in the last 20 or more years. We had significant influence in the Senate bill. What ultimately passed and became law in Massachusetts was the Police Reform and Accountability Bill. It is thought to be one of the most comprehensive police reform bills passed by any state in the country. The process began with a general gathering of branches to discuss police reform, followed by a meeting of the Executive Committee to refine and adopt policies for legislative action. The policies adopted for legislative action were establish a civilian review board with subpoena power, which must review all police deadly shootings and excessive force complaints, reduce the police department budget where appropriate to reallocate funds for mental health and other community-based services, remove uniformed armed police from public schools and increase the presence of trained professionals to manage disciplinary matters. In communities where the housing costs will permit, adopt and enforce residence requirements for police officers. Enact statutes to eliminate the qualified immunity doctrine. Establish a strong statewide police officer standards and training system to certify police officers and enable decertification for misconduct and abuse. Modify the application of veterans' preference in police hiring. Add racial and ethnic diversity as a preference for police positions to ensure that all policing units are racially, ethnically, and gender diverse to the extent possible. Enact statutes which require that all civil monetary awards in dispute settlements and court-ordered judgments against states, counties, cities, or towns be made public in the instance where a police shooting, police misconduct, police excessive force, racial, ethnic, or gender discrimination is alleged. Review and modify the de-escalation protocols and require that all data collection and regular public reporting of police officers' use of force. Develop and update the statewide data collection system with race and ethnicity identification that is standardized and mandatory for all law enforcement agencies. Establish a statewide model policy on the use of force for all law enforcement officers and agencies. Require the investigation and prosecution, if appropriate, of any government where a law enforcement officer is involved in a deadly shooting. Seek enactment of a statute or ordinance establishing a presumption for summonses. The hiring and promotion and retention of Black officers is so important that needs to be a priority in all recruitments. Prior to any promotion, candidates must demonstrate their understanding of fair and impartial policing practices, as well as de-escalation and procedural justice. All law enforcement officers must be required to use body-worn cameras. Prohibit the police use of firearms unless it is necessary and reasonable. Establish the duty and obligation of other police officers on an incident scene to intervene when they witness the excessive use of force by a fellow officer.
We gotta hear from, we have to hear from, is Mr. Turner here?
He is.
Is Mr. Turner in?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Chairman?
Brother Houston, you are on mute.
Yes, Madam Dukes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
We are 2 minutes and we have one guest that we have on our, so you are next to speak. And let's keep our to 2 minutes so we can be on time.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you very much. Mr. Miles, we are, I guess we're over our time. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I will make my greetings extremely brief for the sake of time because we are over time. First of all, I want to thank God for each and every one of you. I want to thank all the Region 2 presidents, my colleagues that worked with me in my first tenure as the state conference president of Pennsylvania. I want to thank Mr. Miles and all of you for help navigating through these difficult times. I have lost 3 immediate relatives in this COVID-19 era, but God is still good. He still sits high and he still looks low. And I want you to know in the Pennsylvania State Conference that we are now up to 49 branches, and we are getting ready to charter 2 more branches, which will give us a total of 6 units that will be chartered in the Pennsylvania State Conference. We are moving in an absolute positive direction in the work of the NAACP, and I am just extremely grateful to all of those that are on the team in the Pennsylvania State Conference. I will be distributing an annual report to all the state conference presidents so that they can read at their leisure of the work that has been accomplished in Pennsylvania. With that being said, I am going to move so that we can hear from our candidate for the national board. Is that correct, Mr. Miles?
That's correct.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Region 2.
There he is.
Can you hear me, everyone? Wave your
Yes,
hand
sir.
if you can. Let me just say, first of all, thank you to my co-chair of convention planning.
Excuse me one second. Excuse me. Is that my brother? Is that my brother, Mike Turner?
It is.
From Detroit, Michigan?
It is. I am
okay.
pleased.
I just wanted to make sure.
Region 2, I am pleased to chair this 112th virtual convention along with Dr. Hazel Dukes and Helen Myers. It's been a challenge, but a privilege. We've not been perfect, but we have perfectly done our best. And I'm pleased with what's going to be presented to you over the next couple of days. I cannot wait to get to Atlantic City, New Jersey next year. You're going to see an exciting new convention. I promise you it will be a new look, and we're going to be like Tom Joyner. We're going to party with a purpose for social justice in Atlantic City. I want to greet my colleagues on the board, Hazel Dukes, Richard Smith, who will host us next year, my brother from another mother, Scott Exdale, who's doing a bang-up job.
My man.
Connecticut, you did a great job nominating Juan Cofield from MEAC, helping us on convention planning, doing an outstanding job, and Michael Curry from Boston, Massachusetts. Let me tell you what your dynamic leadership has done. As Richard Smith indicated, I can't recall in 40 years where we did back-to-back conventions in one region. And so that's your dynamic leadership in Region 2. We will be in Atlantic City for the 113th, and we will be in Boston, Massachusetts for the 114th. It has been a privilege lead this convention planning, and you will see new and exciting things next year. I am up for re-election at this board this week, and I humbly ask you, Region 2, for your support and most importantly, your vote. Thank you very much. Peace and power, and let's keep fighting forward.
All righty.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Turner, and appreciate that excellent greetings, and we wish you nothing but the best. At this time, according to the agenda, we will now hear from the staff. Is that correct, Mr. Miles? According to the agenda.
And all I will say, my only announcement is I just want to thank Region 2 for a regional meeting that was smooth like butter. Thank you all. I appreciate this is the way that it needs to be done. So let's keep it moving.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, there's been some things in the chat that many people said they were not able to vote. So I think we need to see what we can do about that. They're asking about Saturday's vote. We need to see about that. Also, I saw in the chat that people said they didn't know persons who were nominated. If we can get resumes, I think let's be transparent. If we can get resumes, let's get them out to our state conference presidents to share this information with the delegates. We do have many new people who have never been able to attend a convention because of costs. And so we are just, Mike Turner has worked us overtime. Mr. Miles can tell you, to get people compliance and to get us where we are. And so let's encourage our members from our units who never had a chance to participate in a national convention by getting them their resumes. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, Kenneth Houston, the newbie, for doing a great job.
Great job.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Ma
yeah.
Dukes. Love you to death, Ma Dukes. I love you to death, and thank God every day for you and all of you from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, at this time, we will now receive our benediction from the great and anointed woman of God, Reverend Blackman.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
For all of you, blessed and beloved ones, I continue to wish you the peace of God, which passes all understanding and keeps your heart and mind in the knowledge and love of God. Go in peace, and may the God of peace, who brought back from the dead our Lord Jesus, make you complete in everything good, so that you may do God's will, working among us that which is pleasing in God's sight, through Jesus Christ, to whom be the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Chairman, can I say one last thing before we close out?
You sure can, sir.
I would just like to make an announcement that Dr. Cato Lorenzen from UConn Medical Health is going to receive the National Spring Honor Award during this 112th National Convention. So I would just like to congratulate Dr. Cato Lorenzen, who will be receiving the National Spring Honor Award.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Mr.
Good night,
Miles.
everybody.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Good night.
Good night. Kevin, this is Claire. I had some text with regard to some people that could not vote. So maybe if we can just the next time deal with that.